Jews, the Israelites. Okay, not just Judah, but it's for Israel. That's what he was saying. Because you got to remember, the heathens referred to all the, because Judah, Benjamin, Levi was mainly over there in the Eastern Hemisphere. So every time they saw them, they just referred to them all as Jews. And then you read accounts where Paul had said, yeah, I'm a Jew. But then he says, then other scriptures he referred to what particular tribe he came from, which was the tribe of Benjamin. Okay? So that was just a basic term that they used for all the Israelites. They called them Jews. Okay? So when he was explaining to this woman, he said, you don't know what you worship, for salvation is of the Israelites, or the Jews. Keep reading.
But the hour cometh, and it is now, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in his spirit and in truth.
Which are Israelites, because they the only ones have a zeal, like the scriptures say in Romans. We don't have to get it. But it says that they have a zeal for God. But a lot of them going out because they don't do it according to the righteousness of God. So that's a sign that we're Israelites. We have a zeal for God. Keep reading.
For the Father seeketh such to worship him.
That's right. That's 24.
The Most High is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth.
That's right. That's right. Go back to what you were at Matthew's.
Matthew's 13 and...
Nah, he was at 10. 10 and 6.
Matthew's 10 and 6. But go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Keep reading.
And as ye go, preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
Because the kingdom was promised to Israel. Now you can go back to where you was in
Matthew chapter 13, verse
47.
47. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a net that was cast into the sea,
yep,
and gathered to every kind, which when it was full, they drew the shore.
Okay, now it said the sea. Go to Numbers chapter 24, verse 5 through 7. Okay? Because it was prophesied back in Numbers chapter 24 that the seed of Jacob will be amongst all these other nations, which is part of the curses. Okay? All right? So the fishermen are the prophets. They preaching the truth. The net is the truth. Okay, and they cast it into the sea, which are the peoples, which we're going to break it down. Numbers chapter 24, verse 5.
Numbers chapter 24, verse 5.
Yep.
How godly are the tents of Jacob and the tabernacles of Israel.
Yep.
As the valleys are they spread forth, and as the gardens by the river's side. As the trees of liquor holes, which the Lord hath planted, and as the cedar tree by the waters.
Yep.
He shall pour forth water out of his buckets, and his seed shall be in many waters.
And many waters. Now, what's the waters? The waters are the nations. Oh, that go to Revelation 17:15. It said his seed shall be in many waters. Going into what? The curses. Now, us as a people will be spread amongst all the nations. Okay? That's why this truth has to be preached in all nations. Because our people are scattered amongst all nations. And it's the word that's gonna separate us, okay, from these other nations. Keep reading.
Revelation chapter 17, verse 15. And he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues.
Yep. Let's sit on that. Go back to that. Read that again.
Numbers chapter 24, verse 6.
Yeah.
As the valleys are they spread forth as gardens by the riverside as the light. Oh, I read that. Verse 7. He shall pour the waters out of his buckets, and his seed shall be in the many waters.
That's right. His seed shall be amongst many peoples, multitudes, nations, and tongues. Meaning what? You're going to have Israelites that speaking that madness that them Hamites speak. That madness. Hell, you got a lot of these Jakes that's over there in Korea. Because you got to remember, which we brought this out before when we broke down the tares and wheat a while back, that a lot of our people, they have what they call war babies, or babies that when you have Negro, Latino, Native American men join the military, they get shipped off to these different bases, all right, or they was participating in different wars around the world, and they got down with them women over there, and they left children back there, and some of them children came straight out looking like they mama, and that's what you people get tripped off of, the phenotype. It's a genotype and phenotype. What we preach and talk about is the genotype, meaning your genes, who your genes go back to, your father. Phenotype is that particular gene, how it reacts in an environment. Like for an example, if I had an apple, right, a red delicious apple, right, and I ate it and I had plucked all the seeds and then I took that seed and planted it in different lands all around the world. Okay? In certain lands, that apple, when it's growing, it's gonna be bigger. It might taste sweeter. Hell, in certain lands, it might never grow, or it might come out small and puny. What's that? It's the same red delicious apple, right? Even though it might look or appear or shape different, might taste a little different here and there, but it's the same apple, right? It's the same with people. Those different lands were like the phenotype. How that seed reacted to its environment. It's the same when a man laid down with these women. Okay? If he laid down with his particular tribe or whatever, or people, it's gonna still be the same person, okay? But it'll have stronger features of his particular people. But if you deal with another nation, the child's still gonna be of him. Just like that apple is still a red delicious, but it might appear different. Okay? It's the same way. And that's why our people so damn carnal, man. Okay? And that's why it's important to know the characteristics and the spirit of Jake, according to the Bible. Otherwise, you're going to get tripped off of looks, man. Because you got a lot of our people that look like these heathens. Okay? And you got a lot of these heathens that look like us. So you gotta be spiritual at all times, man. Keep reading. He says, seed shall be spilled in many waters.
And his king shall be higher than Agag.
Who was Agag? Agag was the king of the Amalekites. Alright? Which is you damn Amalekites, you Edomites. The head of your nation are them so-called Jewish people, which are Amalekites. And Agag was the king of the Amalekites. So our king, which is Yahushua, was higher than Agag. Okay? Which that's probably Evelyn, but I don't want to go that far, because I don't know. Keep reading.
And his kingdom shall be exalted.
That's the kingdom of heaven. When the Lord come back. This kingdom gonna last forever. It's gonna be exalted. Now go to James 1:1.
Oh yeah! It's the night. It's right next to us. Yeah. We saw some.
They got on moccasins.
Oh, did you? That's cool. We're on the 8th floor. Yeah.
A little bit of so the moccasins, the fringes. All right. So that right there crushed that lie that you got these guys just teaching that all Israel gonna look the same, or they all gonna look like black people. That's not true. Cause I just gave you an example with an apple. If you took that apple and you planted the seeds in different lands, that apple seed's gonna react differently depending on the climate and the land. It's the same with a person. That's why you got some of our people that look like these other nations.